Hello everyone, Tammy here. Welcome to week 2 of Self-Care Sunday. I'm really pleased with the really positive response that I had from my last video. And I did have someone ask about having it be a collaboration. And I really like that idea. I didn't think of it in the beginning, just because it feels like this is my journey. But you know what? Not we all, those of us that need the self-care journey need the self-care journey. And so I think it's important to share where we're at on our path and, um, you know, talk about different ideas and different things that are working for us, and maybe things that, even things that we didn't do so well at, just celebrating the victories and celebrating the fact that um, you didn't necessarily do everything you wanted to do in the week or the month, but you kept powering on. That's a reason to celebrate too. So let's do that. I just have a couple of notes here because I wanted to remember everything that I wanted to say. So I want to use the hashtag Self-Care Sunday, all one word, all lowercase, Self-Care Sunday. Um, if if you have a video, or if you have a YouTube channel and you post videos, I would love to have you do even a VR to this, so people that come to our channels can see, oh, hey, we're doing this collaboration all about self-care. I am going to give a prompt every week, um, and just see where it goes. And you participate as much as you need to, as much as you feel that it benefits you. Don't have to do it every week. Whatever is comfortable for you, I want you to do that. So that said, the prompt for this week is um, making a list of things that just brought you so much joy and lit your fire and you were so excited about, um, maybe when you were younger. Now, younger could be last week, younger could be last year, younger could be when you were a kid. Just those things, and make a list of them. That's the only thing to do for this week for your self-care. Is I just want you to, sit down, with a piece of paper. You can maybe even do it in a collage, however, whatever form you want to do it in. Pictures, um, paint, scribbles, doodles, words. I made a list, a word list. So, and I'll be talking about that in the next segment a little bit. But yeah, just do that. That's all you have to do this week. Make a list of the things that just lit you up and brought you so much joy when you were younger. Um, and I will talk about my list in the next segment. So, welcome to Self-Care Sunday. Welcome if you plan to participate. I would love to have you. It I'm going to do this regardless if I have one person joining me, 10 people joining me, or no people joining me. I'm still doing this Self-Care Sunday. So the more the merrier. We always learn from each other, and being in community with like-minded people who are on similar paths is always very gratifying and inspiring. So that's what I'm doing. So thank you. And next time you see me, you'll be looking down at either my craft table or my tarot altar. I'm not sure which. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. So I'll be seeing you though. Okay, so I have a big mess on my desk. I finished cleaning a box. part of my self-care for this year is to get my craft closet organized. And I tried to do this earlier in the summer, and I was overwhelmed because I have a lot of stuff to sort through. So in order to be successful, and as part of my self-care 2023, I put some parameters on my cleaning and organizing, and that is to do one box, basket, shelf, drawer, whatever I choose to do a week. So I actually tackled the biggest box that I had. Sorry, took a drink of my coffee there. I tackled the biggest box I have, and instead of putting some things away, I left them out to create on. So just some things I've done. This is a tag. I'm not, sorry, my dog, I have fur everywhere. My dog had some dental work, and she's being a little needy, and so I just noticed that my black sweatshirt is covered in dog hair. Okay. So yeah, so I made a couple of journal tags, and then a couple of little belly bands or pockets, however I choose to use them. And so I thought I'd just kind of keep carrying on with that theme. Before I do, I want to say that I did draw a card for us this morning. This is an affirmation card, and it says, "There's no such thing as a mistake. Everything happens in divine order. I am being guided to learn and grow." So I thought this was beautiful. So this is for our week ahead, is to remember this. No such thing as a mistake. Everything is happening in divine order, and we're all being guided to learn and grow. So that's that. This is from the Spirit Junkie deck by Gabrielle Bernstein, artwork by Michaela Ezra, and it's a nice little deck. It says, "A spirit junkie is someone who fully embraces their unique gifts and uses them to be a force for good in the world. When we love and accept ourselves, we shine brightly, and that energy radiates outward, inspiring others to do the same. When we honor our inner light, we light up the world." I love that. And this is published by Hay House. So if you go to the Hay House website and you get on their mailing list, they'll let you know when you have sales. This was on sale. I believe it was on sale for, I want to say this deck was only like $8 or $9. So just something to look out for. So I got that. I love them. They're beautiful. And so that's our message. So I thought it would just be fun to just make a couple things while I talk to you. Just about, oh, that's like perfect. I'm going to talk to you about my list of things that lit me up when I was younger. I made a list. I think I have a dozen maybe things on my list, and I'm not sure if I'm going to remember them all, but I did want to share those with you. So I know the first two things on my list are learning and reading, and they kind of go hand in hand, but I have always loved and will always love to learn new things and read. Like I just can't even, it's so funny how I just take those things for granted. Like I don't think of those things as being especially unique to me. But, you know, I have a husband that I've had for a long time, and I have 2 kids, and none of them have the same passion for reading and learning that I have. So I used to kind of take it for granted, like, oh, everybody loves to learn and read. In fact, they do not. And that, you know what, that's fine. But that is my core. That is at my core, is learning and reading. And so what's interesting about that is I have continued to read. I probably read 40 to 50 books a year. And I don't necessarily power through them. But over the last, I don't even know, 6, 7 years, I've only done, not only, but almost only done audiobooks. I discovered audiobooks. Well, I discovered them. I used to go to the library a lot, and they used to have books on tape and books on CD. And when I was working, I had a fairly long commute, depending on, you know, the hours that I went in and hours that I left. And so I enjoy listening to music. That's another thing that's on my things that bring me joy list. But I also sometimes, you know, want to listen to a story while I'm out driving, especially if I'm driving a long ways or if I'm going to be in the car for a long time. Of course, this was years ago, so that's all we had was books on tape, and then they went on to CD, and that was a huge thing. And then when my kids were little, we used to take road trips with them, and, you know, drive fairly long ways, and so we would get Harry Potter and listen to the Harry Potter books because we all enjoyed them so much. And yeah, it was fun because if we were tent camping, we could bring a little, you know, tape recorder and listen. And that's kind of where my reading started changing. I started thinking, oh, I can read and like get stuff done. So like I can read and I can, you know, I can care for my house. I can, you know, do the dishes and read. So it kind of opened up a whole new world for me in a way. And I just kind of not retreated, but I ended up that being my main focus of reading. And then Audible came out and different apps and you know, all that kind of stuff. And that's mostly, and I got rid of a bunch of books. I think I talked about that in one of my last videos. I think in maybe my last Self-Care Sunday video, where I got rid of a whole bunch of my books, and I'm kind of regretting it. I'm getting back into that. When I made that list, I was like, okay, so what were some things about reading that brought me so much joy when I was younger? And part of it was going to the library, going to the bookstore. I love doing those things. Like going to the library when I was a little kid was like going to a whole new world. Like I was, I got glue on here and I'm really not happy with that. So I'm going to maybe get some ribbon to tie in here, but I think I want to put something on the back here. Anyway, I got sidetracked. So yeah, so those are some things. So when I was making my list, I was like, okay, well, what is it about reading And part of it is the hunt of finding a new book, or new treasure, or I don't know, I can't even describe it. Just going up and down the aisles of bookcases, and just looking, just adventuring, oh, what about this topic? What about this I can't even describe it. So yeah, so that just really got me thinking that I miss that. And so that's part of my self-care routine for January is, so I made that list, and then I just took the top 2 off my list for January and said I'm gonna focus on those 2 things, the learning and the reading. And so that's what I've been doing. And just give me a second. I'm gonna look in my ribbon drawer and see. That does not match. That does not match. It's interesting. I'm just going to use it. I wouldn't really think to use this color, but I think it looks good. There's a little bit of that green in there. Yeah, so my daughter and I took a trip to the bookstore, and as soon as I'm done with this, I will show you a couple of books that I got. Well, that didn't really help. So what if I did... Okay. So I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's raining pretty hard. It was dumping snow earlier, but it's not quite cold enough to snow. So it was just like this big dump, and then it stopped. I live in the Seattle area, and we actually do not get that much snow. So anytime we do, I find it very exciting. That's one of the things that lit me up when I was a kid, was playing in the snow. Okay, that didn't work. And then I thought I went on to, I don't have a library card. We moved out here a few years ago, and I just never went and got a new library card. And then, when you're young and poor and your kids are little, you literally go to the library all the time. At least we did. And then when you have more means, you tend to just purchase your books, which is ridiculous. I should utilize the library way more. So that's one of my things to do this month, is to get signed up with a library card. And I thought I had done it online, but apparently I didn't click the submit button, because it said, oh, you'll get your card in a week, when I read all the directions. And yeah, I never got the card. There you go. Cute. I like that. Okay, so I made one tag. That's enough. I'm literally just taking the trash from that box that I didn't necessarily want to, I can't stuff anymore in my envelopes. I have plastic envelopes that I keep art supplies on that are within my reach, and they're packed full. So some of the stuff I'm going to use, and some of the stuff I'm going to make a new storage spot for. So I decided to just create some stuff. So it's fun. I'm going to work on these, but not on camera. For those of you that do junk journal, you have, seen people make things over and over and over again, and I'm not doing anything new or revolutionary. So, so I won't make you, sit and watch watch that happening. So anyway, that's where I am for the craft. I'm gonna come back and wrap up this video and show you the books that I got at the bookstore, and I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so you're getting a little sneak peek into my my planner. I'm still learning how to use this planner. It's new to me. I really like it. So it has, and I'll do more of a deep dive closer to the 1st of February because I want to do a review. But it has some cool stuff. So right here, this is where I put things I loved to do when I was young. Learn, read, listen to music, hike, color, collage. So just a little, reading is lifelong. Since my mom took me to the library that I can remember when I was probably 7 or 8 years old, opened a whole new world for me. Reading is it. Like, it is it. Music also I've listened to since I was born. My mom was a huge music fan, listened to Elvis, Andy Williams, Nat King Cole, you know, later on in the 70s, Helen Reddy and Olivia Newton-John and John Denver and Peter, Paul, and Mary. I mean, the list goes on and on. So I have a very long history of listening to amazing music and some kind of bad music too. My mom also liked, you know, Pat Boone and some, anyway, hiking. Started hiking when I was in junior high or high school. Again, loved it. I have not hiked in years. Color, again, since I was a little kid. And I'm talking about old-fashioned coloring and coloring books. So fun. Collage. Again, I was probably 12 or 13 when my mom and I, we had magazines, and we would make collages out of these magazines. So fun. Baking, photography. Got my first camera when I was 10. Took pictures all through high school, all through. I took pictures right up until the digital camera became a thing, and then I lost interest. It's really sad. Crocheting, which I still do off and on. Cross stitch, have not done in years. Scrapbooking, have not done in years. Beach combing, I do this at every opportunity that I have. I like to search for really cool pieces of wood and rocks that I treasure. You know, this is an agate from beach on Anderson Island that I like to go to. The beach is full of agates and jasper and just beautiful things. So I love to go to the beach. Shells. I mean, I could just go on and on. Play the guitar. I got my first guitar when I was probably 8. Played it again all the way through high school and then stopped. Don't know why. Stopped. Doodle. Hang out with friends. Of course, COVID, the past, 3 years, that has cut down a lot. And so, but these are just things I love to do when I was young. And my friends and I do get together a couple times a year. We go away for a long weekend, and that's really fun. So in the month of January, and I didn't really start until after the first week of January, so I've only been doing these a couple of weeks, but the learning and the reading, I am determined to learn to read the tarot. And so I have a few other tarot books that I have already talked about, and I think I'm going to start Tarot Tuesday again. Not positive it'll be this week, but I am going to start it, so I'll share all the books that I've been using. My daughter and I took a trip to Barnes & Nobles. She was looking for fiction to read, and I was just going along for the ride. And of course, the first place I go is the metaphysical area, mystical, witchy. And I saw this book and it really intrigued me. And I love the cover. It's beautiful. It's kind of soft, but also hard. It's hard hard to describe. But this is a lovely little book, and it has, I've already done a few of these, but it has journal prompts. To me, you can read through these and kind of see what it helps you. So this is self-care and personal development. And there's all different love and relationships, family and friends, a career and finance, all the way through health and body. Really great stuff. Spiritual development. And it talks about the cards a little bit too in the beginning, in the introduction, and then the chapter introduction, and then it has a whole place for open-ended prompts. So I thought this was really cool, really valuable, and I'm already using it, so love that. This is the next one that intrigued me, Tarot for Self-Care, and I've just been reading and highlighting some areas of this that I find interesting. So that's the book I got. And this was all, I got these last weekend, so I've only been working with them for a week. And then I was sitting, our Barnes & Noble has like chairs where you can sit and look at your books and decide if you want them, or just, I was waiting for my daughter. She was still looking, and I wanted to give her all the time she needed. And so the area I was sitting was kind of the travel area. And I saw this book from across, I had new glasses so I could see. So I saw this across the way, and it was a Haunted Road Atlas. And I thought, that looks so fun. So I grabbed it, sat down with it, and it's super fun. So I am not obsessed, but I love all things paranormal. I watch all the paranormal shows. I believe Bigfoot is real. Just everything. So they go through these two have a podcast. It's called And That's Why We Drink. And I have not listened to their podcast yet, but I will. But they have the Northeast, the Southeast, the Midwest, Southwest, Northwest. There's only 2, which is a little disappointing, but I bought it anyway because I do go to the Northeast now and then. And, when my husband retires, we can go visit some of these places. And they give you the best places to get a lovely drink and the best places to get ice cream. So I think that is so fun. So my husband and I are not big drinkers, but yeah, we'll go grab an ice cream in one of these places. So anyway, really fun. What really got me was the back. Not about our book, but it certainly applies here. And it says, if you don't enjoy reading this book, Christine wrote the whole thing. And that was from her partner, M. And then, sounds interesting, our moms. I don't get it, our dads. Christine Schaefer wrote a book? Are you sure? Christine's high school English teacher, probably. I just think that's so funny. I just thought it was so funny. So, yeah. Anyway, this was my... I absolutely do not need this book. It's not going to serve me any purpose except giving me joy when I read it and making me smile and maybe chuckle. And yeah, I think it's really fun. So that's that. And yeah, so work on the prompt this week for those of you that are going to participate in hashtag Self-Care Sunday is to make a list of things that lit you up when you were younger. Just take a few days with it. My list took me 2 or 3 days to make, and I kept thinking about it, and every time I thought about it, I wrote something down either on the notes in my phone, or if I had a notepad close by, I'd write it down to remember to write it in my planner. So yeah, I'd love to see a video if that's what you do. I try to go on Instagram just once a day, and I don't spend more than 15 or 20 minutes. So I will purposely search for the hashtag Self Care Sunday, and see if any of you are participating. And yeah, that's where we're at this week. So I hope you'll think about joining me. It's really low pressure, it's work at your own pace. Like, I didn't even start this on the first of the year. I waited a week and then I decided what I wanted to do. So it's really low stress. But I would love for you to do something every single week, movement towards self-care, for self-care. And I feel like the way that we can do this is to start with things that we know we already have loved to do in the past, or have a yearning to do right now. Like, I had a yearning to learn tarot. That wasn't something that lit me up when I was younger, although it did but I now have a longing to learn how to use it. So that's where I'm at. If you have something like that, great. Put that down too. And I think what the structure is going to look like is every month, or every week, we'll focus on something new, a very, very small thing. So like for me, from my list, I picked 2. You might pick 1. You might decide you want to do that for a whole month, like I am doing, learning and reading for a whole month. I'm not trying to add in anything else in there. And so that's how I'm doing it. And I would love for you to join me. And I've talked enough, so I'm going to let you go. Have a great rest of your Sunday. And thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for your inspiration and support. And remember to be good to yourself.